So verse 8, when he says the wind blows where it wishes, you hear its sound, but you don't know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit. That's your second birth. That's your birth from above. You see the results. So how do you know if you're born again? Do you see results? And this is a question that I'm not asking you, how do you know that your spouse is born again? Or how do you know that your friend that you brought to church is born again? I'm asking you, how do you know that you are born again? How do you know that you have been born from above, that the Spirit is in you? And the answer is, and this is something only you can answer, do you feel that change? I don't mean an experiential feeling. Like, do you see the effects of the Spirit in your own life? And one of the clearest marks that you're saved is that when you are away from accountability, so not when you're here at church, not when you're busy teaching a Bible study, but when you are on your own, away from accountability, in a foreign place where nobody knows you, or the people that do know you don't care about your morals, they don't care about whatever they let you do whatever you want, and you still inside know, I don't want to do that because I hate it. That's how you know you're saved, because that's not natural. Not, I don't want to do it in case someone sees. That's different. That's a different motivation. I don't want to do it because now I'm a Christian and Christians have to do this thing. That's a different motivation. I'm talking about a genuine internal change of heart. I was listening to a sermon yesterday, and it was by Paul Washer. If you ever want a convicting sermon, Google Paul Washer and buckle up. And he preached this great sermon. He was talking about this very thing where he said, he grew up on a farm, and he said, you can make a gourmet meal, and you can put it on a plate, and a few yards away you can put another meal that's just garbage, just rotten garbage from the garbage can, and you let a hog loose, which one's it going to choose? Garbage every time. Why? Because it's a hog. And it'll be eating that filth and that stench, and it'll just be loving it, happy as a hog, right? And he said, imagine now you came up to it, and in a heartbeat, in a flick of your fingers, you could turn it magically into a man. Suddenly, there is a man with his face buried in garbage, and the very thing that he was just delighting in, he's now going to vomit from his mouth. In fact, he's going to be ashamed that he's even there. That's what the new birth is like. The very thing that you're doing and delighting in suddenly, in an instant, repulses you. And you vomit it out of your life, and you're embarrassed that you even had it. It makes you teary when you recount what you did. That's a sign of the Spirit working in you. That's a sign of a new creature who's been changed from the inside out, an extreme spiritual makeover. Have you had an extreme spiritual makeover? You could be religious, moral, and theologically astute, but have you had an extreme spiritual rebirth? You can be and do everything else, but unless you're born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. And how? It's up to the Spirit. So cast yourself on the mercy of Jesus. Beg him to do something in you, and he will send his Spirit and make you new from the inside out. And you will see those changes. And you will sense the work of the Spirit in your life. And that's something you cannot fake. Anyone can be born from above. Anyone can be born again. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how set you are in your ways. You can be born again today.